the next speech that you're getting ready to see is what we call an after-dinner speech. And it can model an informative model of speaking or a persuasive model of speaking. The only requirement is that it's got to be funny, okay? So I need you to like get ready to laugh. It's okay to laugh. You should laugh. It is good to laugh. And so to perform his after-dinner speech for us, we have communications major from Grays Lake, Illinois. Help me welcome to the stage, Andrew Graham.
Back in high school, I was bullied for having the muscle mass of a child's toothbrush. I was also homeschooled. Thanks, Mom. On the first day of my new gym membership, I was ready to be shredded, like those mid-20 gymfluencers. You know, the ones with $20,000 in unpaid parking tickets and a felony. So I swaggered up to the head beefcake, but before I could say anything, he said, "1 sec, little man, gotta go shoot up really quick." Now I'm 15, so I'm thinking, the shoot up. This is gonna be some sort of elite protein powder. But then he pulled his pants down and stuck a syringe in his ass. My brain is scrambling, thinking maybe he's diabetic, maybe it's insulin. But then he started grunting and punching holes in the wall. And I figured this was likely the result of anabolic steroids. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the term anabolic steroid is a group of usually synthetic hormones, often used to improve size and strength with improved endurance. Not sexually, though, but unfortunately, Men's Health of July 1st, 2025 explains that there has been a recent surge of steroid abuse among younger male individuals. But the term anabolic steroid is a bit ambiguous. And unless you're a physical science major or an aspiring high school football coach, you may not know the different kinds. Medical News of June 3rd contextualizes trenuline, or tren, mestrolone, and testosterone injections all fall under the classification of steroid. We need to be better informed on anabolic steroids to protect the future generation. So today, let's take a look at causes, effects, and solutions. Because let's face it, steroids are not going anywhere. Like my tapeworm, Jimmy. I feed him kettle corn. But we also need to remember to douche before we juice. Now, judging by the looks on some of your faces, you might be thinking of the other type of douche. Stop that! Douche stands for discriminate our overall steroid harms. Douche! So let's rep out some causes, and let's take a look at why steroids are viewed as the best shortcuts, and how our algorithms cause more steroid use. First, steroids are treated like those old school Mario Kart glitches in sports and athletics. According to EBSCO of April 15th, 2025, the pursuit of a competitive edge drives many young athletes to turn to steroids, despite their ban in many sports. The same study showed that nearly 80% of young athletes could see the prominence of steroid use among their own teammates. University of Colorado of June 2025 furthers that there are dozens of unregulated websites looking to sell these drugs directly to consumers. No prescription needed for a low cost. It's basically like if Etsy was for steroid-addicted asshats. Like, imagine some steroid-addicted incel scrolling and he sees, buy one, get one free steroids? I'll take 20. Second, social media makes us believe that we need to be built like Greek statues. But I mean, Greeks didn't even really do much except for fight, crack femboys, and talk. The aforementioned Men's Health explains that platforms like TikTok will host events like #TrendTalk, bypassing steroid content bans, allowing users to share steroid cycles, transformation photos, and tips. The conversation of April 3rd, 2025 furthers that the algorithms push these posts to millions of insecure teenagers and adults alike. See, many people blindly take this messaging because A, media literacy is dying, but B, the messages put out by these creators only influence body dysmorphia, eating disorders, and unrealistic expectations for our own body. As pre-Ozempic singer-songwriter Meghan Trainor once said, boys like a little more booty to hold at night. That booty. That booty. Now that I'm in college and well acquainted with the local gym scene, I was shocked to see how normalized steroids are. Like at a house party, I saw Kyle from my intro to finance class snort a line of coke, inject himself with steroids, and then he just died. That guy never even gave me the Quizlet. Don't be like Kyle. Effects, there are two. Parental and coach pressures and dire health consequences. Initially, parents and coaches often push steroid use on young adolescents, much like my Filipino grandma, who force feeds me lumpia every time I come home, just in a profuse sweat. No, Grandma, please, no more. Just one more bite! True Sport of September 1st, 2025 found a concerning trend among parents regarding high investment in their children's athletic careers and outcomes. You see, we often think of people who push steroids as the shady guy in the corner of the gym, but it's often those directly responsible for our own well-being. So what if my coach pushed steroids to me a couple of times? I declined, hashtag natty, but at least he didn't watch me in the team showers, I think. Second, steroids deteriorate your body faster than the average diet of your local construction worker. University Hospitals of June 2025 explains that taking steroids at a young age can have risks of stunted growth, messed up hormones, and even hair loss. So yeah, you're gonna get those abs, but you're gonna be bald. Actually, can we please get a moment of silence for all our smooth saints out there? Shut up, Sam. Thank you. The Grove Estate of July 31st, 2025 furthers that taking steroids also has risks of depression, anxiety, and even paranoia. Young athletes already have so much on their plates. Like imagine failing a chemistry test. You have razor burn everywhere, and now you can't help but wonder why your 23-year-old coach now smells like your mom's perfume. Maybe he's gay. At the age of 13, I started to get bullied for how my body looks. But for some kids, this happens even sooner. Looking back, I see that many people don't take steroids out of boredom, but oftentimes insecurity for not fitting society's ideal body type. And although it doesn't help my case with this $15 Great Clips haircut that has me looking like a great value Jacob from Twilight, or a rejected member of the Asian Beatles, or just a really dirty Q-tip. I've learned to love this messed up haircut and this body, and you should too. So, solutions. First, we need to educate our kids on steroids. Scientific reports of June 3rd, 2025 found a concerning trend among teenagers, seeing that only 37% of teens claim to have an average knowledge on the use of steroids. If we treated steroids like cigarettes in education, we could save children from harming themselves worse than gooning and black tar heroin. My link tree will have information on anabolic steroids that anyone can access. Feel free to scan the code, or if you want to be a little bit different and you want to make sure to remember to douche before you juice, I got a QR code here. Careful, David, you're in the splash zone. Finally, we need to set better standards for our family, friends, and students. We have to make sure that they have better standards because we have to make sure to love our body and maintain a healthy relationship with it. The Addiction Center explains that the more dialogue you can have with your friends about the gym, the more likely you are to find something that could be bigger than just a needle. And for me, that started when I began douching. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Never looked back since. In conclusion, steroids are not going to make your child the next LeBron James. At best, they're going to be that weird buff referee that screams at MILFs and yells at 10-year-olds at the Little League soccer games. But we can spread awareness of this, one insane acronym at a time.